Hi,
Hello.
Shreya.
So we will be creating one more catalog, a simple one, just to see how the variable sets respond and what is this variable sets and all. So usually variable sets are nothing but the variables which we create. Okay. Like we were creating single line text, multi-line text, those are all variables which are similar to the fields that we have on our forms. So here we have a concept called variable sets. These are something where you can reuse them. I have 10 catalogs where I have commonly used variables like requested for, that means who are is going to raise this request, email ID, contact number, or a address. These fields are similarly used. So instead of recreating these variables every time, you can create a all these fields what are reused commonly in your scenario and create a variable set for that, and you can call this variable set in all the catalog items. That is the advantage of having a variable sets in ServiceNow. There are two types, single row set and multi-row set. Single row set is something we use in ServiceNow for more times, like compared to multi-row variable set. We'll be working on single row variable set in Service. So, as a collection of variables that can be used across multiple catalog items and order grids, variable sets are often used for catalog items that contain information about requests or products. So, they are reusable. Variable sets can be used across multiple catalog items. So, you need to define the variable ones. You need to make changes to the variable. You only need to do it in one place. That means I have created a variable set and I want to populate something again in my another catalog item. If I'm using the same variable set, if I want to modify something, it may not work. Okay, so commonly used variables will work in one pattern. So you have to design it in a way where most of the catalogs or the order guides can be use this variable set whatever we are creating. Okay, whenever you work for catalog systems, definitely your job is to create many catalog items or order guides. Definitely you will be working on variables. At that time you have to define what type of variables are commonly used. You have to cross verify the requirement given by the client, and you have to list out the fields, list out the variables that are used commonly and align them and use it in form of a variable set. See, catalog managers and catalog editors can attach a variable set to items that are assigned to them. Only catalog managers and catalog editors are given. That means on particular role restriction, it is running. So let's take a example one here. Maybe I call it like a variable set example. So under same category or services also you can add it. Anything is fine. First variable sets. So single row variable set, multi-row variable set, I'm just giving you a tag like variable set. So you have a difference here. We'll also be talking about it. So I have a requirement where I'll be using some commonly used variables like requested for email and a business form. Okay, even a address. 4 fields. Let's take. I'm sorry. Let's create a new variable set. See, you have a new button. Single row variable set, multi-row variable set. Let's go with single row variable set. Here you have to give a title, like 31st. So here you can decide one column wide or two column wide or two column one side another, like the layout. Instead of adding the split and all, you have a layout option, and you can decide this. Um, so let's start for mail, home, address. So I have created this variable set. Beneath that, once I save this, I will have these sections like catalog UI policies, catalog client scripts, in which catalogs it is included. Is there any data lookup definitions for the same? So here you have to create a variable. Okay, not on the generic variables where we create for catalog items. You have to create a variable set, and there you have to create a variable. So this, let's keep it like a reference field. Order is 100, and here you have to give a name. Registered for. And in type specification, whenever you are referring to any other table, you have to specify the table name. Let's say requested for is a user information. They will redirect it to user table. And if you want to set any default value, or if you want to auto populate anything like dependent choice. Okay, so let's make it a mandatory from here. And let's create 3 more variables. I'll keep it single line text this time. See, you can see it is running on this particular variable set. Phone, business, another is mm, 300. Like, okay. I set that as a default value. Now here, requested for is not empty. Address should be visible. Okay, that is a requirement. Using UI policy, let's create it. So you can create a new. Like we have a generic UI policies. This catalog UI policies works only on catalogs. The catalog UI policies are similar to standard UI policies. Catalog UI policies dynamically change the variables that are part of catalog item and change how variable sets are handled. Policies can also be applied when variable sets are presented in requested item or a catalog item view. Okay, that means whenever we are raising this essay request, dot list. Okay, this is a request. So every request will have a RITM, right? RITM is nothing but a requested item level. So over here also, whatever the logic we are applying, it has to be applied. Then you have to check this way, check boxes. These are something new in the catalog UI policies, which are not present on our standard UI policies. And standard UI policies works on a table level. This works on a specific catalog level or a variable set level. Okay, so catalog task level, RITM level, or a target record level. You have to check this check boxes. Otherwise, whatever the UI policy you are writing may not be applied on the RITM level and a task level. Okay, so that is something you have to remember. Requested for is not empty. Address has to be populated. Or address has to be visible. You can just keep it to be visible. So here requested for is not empty. Is it true? Update it. This is how it looks. And when I fill it, address will be populated. So UI policy is working fine. This is on the native UI, guys. Native UI means the developers where they actually test your working model and where they actually build this. Okay, now I have a scenario. We'll work on catalog client scripts for the same variable set. So based on the onload, it has to show logged in user information. For that, we'll write a client script. So catalog client scripts. This all also similar to our generic client scripts. That means the standard client scripts, whatever we have. But the only difference here, we can only apply 3 catalog scripts. What are those? Onload, on change, and on submit. There is no cell edit because cell edit is applied on the list view of tables. Here we are not working on any list view. We are working on the catalogs. So you can apply it on any catalog or a variable set, and there are only 3 types. That is also one of the major difference between a standard catalog item, standard client scripts and a standard client scripts versus catalog client scripts. Onload clients. So see, it is applied to a variable set here. And as I told you, to make it available, you have to check these check boxes. Otherwise, no. You have 3 options only here: on load, on submit, and on change. There is no on cell edit. And the editor is also given. You can write your script. Let's say I want to gform set value, what I want to set on this field. This is a backend name. G underscore user dot get full name. I want to get the full name of the logged in user. So using G underscore method, I can do that. Yeah, this detail equals to new flag record. Then do it on user table. So with the selected sys ID, I want to pick the user ID. G underscore user dot user. And now what I want to set business phone and a mail address. Phone dot set value. Then now this details dot phone. That will give you the phone number of the user. And set value. Mail address. And I want to set information on address fields. Maybe location will add. There is some glitch. So I'll take company name here instead of location for now. Save it. See, it automatically populating my details. This is the sys I have of the company. Let's check it on the CMN company table. for company. Sorry. Event. So it has to give you the company society. So it is populating. My script is running fine. I'll tell you what I have done. I'm trying to get the set the value of requested for. That means I'm trying to make it a full name of the logged in user on the requested for field. By default, system doesn't populate it, right? So using this g underscore user method, get full name is get full name of the session logged in user. It will set on the requested for field. Based on that, what I'm doing, I have created a variable called request details. I'm doing some glide query operations on this user table. Applying this add query has like current sysID. That means it will be of logged in session users. So on that sysID, I'm trying to get the user ID, uh, and I'm going to fetch business phone, mail address, like phone, email, and company information, and set on this business phone for phone field, mail address on email address on mail address field, and company information on address field. That's it. I didn't write any complex scripting here. Is it clear, or you want me to explain this? Hello? Hello.
Yes, Shreya.
Yeah. Is it clear, guys? Like Lakshmi, another Lakshmi we have.
Yes, Shreya.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So don't worry, I'll give the script also. But if you don't understand the logic, let me know. I can help you out right away. I'll close everything just to avoid the confusion. I'll open our variable set. Okay. When I just click on try it now, I can see this information is auto-populated. If I make it empty, address is not there, UI policy and client scripts are executed. But see, these are given logged in user information. But on change of caller, it has to work. That means if I select some other caller, it has to give me that caller information, not the one who I select here. Okay. So for that, we'll create one more catalog client script for on change. So go to scene maintain items. Open your catalogs. I'm sorry. So I'll create one more on change client script. And you have to select the field again. If it is on change, based on requested for, it has to work. So it should not display my details. It has to display the current selected user information. So for that, what we are going to do, I need the variables backend name. So get the value of requested for. Based on that, I will do some glide query. So ABC equals to new glide record. See, for user information, you will be querying user table only. ABC dot add query. Okay, I'm validating with the requested for the business ID. ABC dot query. File ABC dot next. I want to set information on business phone. ABC dot phone. Mail address. ABC dot email. I'm good. I don't want to full address here. Save it. Maintain items. Try it. So on load it is showing me this. On change it is giving me that particular information. Here I haven't modified anything. So gform dot value on address field. So whatever the address or location, whatever you give, it works. ADDRES. ABC dot company. See, I'm giving the company information. So now if you try it, usually it will be auto-populated with the session open user information. But once I change the user, based on that user, it will give me this. And this user doesn't have a address, that means a location. Company, sorry, I have tagged it to company. See, company is empty, so it is not giving you company information. But you can update it and cross-verify. See, my variable set is completely working fine. We have seen a UI policy and two cloud scripts. Now, let's say I have a requirement to create a new catalog for maintain items. They'll give you a sheet or a requirement very clearly, guys. You need not to worry. They'll say requested for has to refer to this table. It has to populate this information. This field should have show field message. What should be the message again? Everything they'll only specify. So, MacBook. So I want to request for a MacBook, and they are commonly used variables, which are name, and like requested for phone number, mail address, and address. Now, instead of creating all those variables again, now I can just come here, click on edit. Okay, go with the variable set which I have created, which is December 31st variable set. Save it. Okay, now just click on try it. See, by default it is working. If I keep it empty, address should be missing. If I select some user, it has to give me all the information. And number of times you change the color, it has to give you that information. So see, on MacBook Pro, I didn't create any of these variables. I directly called my variable set. Is it clear?
Yes, Shreya.
So you can also implement something like this, so it will be easy for you. Okay. Um, like how we have 20 more minutes, right? We'll cover some interview questions or we'll cover some topic. Hello.
Yes, fine, Shreya.
Lakshmi, Prasad, Naveen, another Lakshmi we have. Srini, Vinay, Yashashvi. Like, you want me to continue with another topic, or let's do some revision or interview questions?
Interview questions.
Okay, fine. So, okay. Uh, which is the best way whenever I have a commonly used variables in 10 catalog items, creating individual variables or using variables?
I think variable set.
Variables.
Yeah, may I know why? You can just give some explanation, guys. You can say, see, as variable sets are reusable. So instead of creating variables a number of times in an instance, we can create them in one variable set and call them in all the 10 catalogs which we are going to work. So you can give some validation like this in interviews. You got it? So what is the major difference between a generic UI policy and a catalog UI policy? I'll show you UI policies. When you open both of them simultaneously, it will be easy for you to see the difference. I'll look at something that is working on our scope. Okay. So here, if you see, always hide something which is running on global scope. This is also running on global scope. I'm sorry, I have open application here. Both have opened the same. These are our generic UI policies. That means the standard UI policies. UI policies doesn't have a name and they execute in form of an order. Order is also important here. So here we'll be writing the conditions to trigger the UI policy. Yes, even in our catalog UI policy, you write the conditions. You have a condition builder, you'll be writing your conditions. Then this works on global scope. If you uncheck it, you can apply it to different view. This is also a frequently asked question. Whenever I want to apply UI policy on specific view, what is a method? Uncheck this global checkbox. You can find view and select the view where you want to implement this UI policy. Apart from that, onload of UI policy and reverse if false. That means if I'm not meeting the conditions I have to set, the UI policy action has to be reverted. That is what reverse if false does. Inherit, if someone is inheriting our table on which the UI policy is running, this UI policy should also be inherited along with that table extension. That is what inheritance tells about. And coming down, you have UI policy action, UI policy related list actions. That means on related list, if you want to apply any of this, making field mandatory read only or setting any value or clearing any value, all this, you'll be using this on the UI policy related list actions. So, but coming to our catalog client scripts, catalog UI policies, you'll also have some set of condition on load, reverse if false. These are all there. This is the condition that is applied. Apart from that, you'll have the checkboxes. It should work on catalog item view. It should work on target view. It should work on RITM view. Okay, if you check those checkboxes only, your catalog UI policy will be running on the RITM view and SC task view, otherwise no. And coming back, this can be converted into a data policy and make sure there is no visibility action running. Then only you can convert a data policy to a UI policy and UI policy to a data policy, vice versa. But here, no, such things are not convertible as we are working on the catalogs and variable set. What catalog UI policy does, you can apply it on any variables. Even we have created a new, this Apple 16 Pro Max, right? We'll be creating some catalog UI policies there, you can check. So on variable set works, on the variable sets it works because to this only it is limited. You cannot apply it on any table. And even you can call this variable sets on the order guide. So we'll be creating order guide and record producer too. Okay. So these are the major difference that you have to keep in mind. Coming to client scripts. Generic client scripts are of 4 types. What are those, guys?
Unload, unchange, unsubmit, unselect.
And how many client scripts that ServiceNow supports in catalogs?
3 only.
What are those?
Unload, unsubmit, unchange.
Why not all unselected?
There are no lists.
Has it applies on the catalog items and variable sets, will not be using on-cell edit. Can we use G_form methods on on-cell edit? How about others? I don't know, only one is answering me. Can we use G_form API on on-cell edit client scripts?
No, Shreya.
Why?
It is used only on list with.
G_list can be used. G_form completely works on form level. What are the different ways to access server-side data in client scripts? Using getReference method, using glad ajax, using display_br. Only these 3 methods where you can access the server-side data in client script. Server-side data means something that is on your tables and you want to showcase it on certain forms. The getReference method, I think we have discussed it, but I'll give you 1-2 examples. You just remind me on second. So Naveen or Lakshmi, someone can remind me on this. Next is a glide ajax, which we have to work, and there will be some good ample of examples. And see, I'll give you an assignment. If you guys are free for tomorrow, just explore what is glide ajax. You can read the product documentation of ServiceNow. You need not to search anything. You need not to like look for any books. Directly go to product documentation, understand what is glide Ajax. That is really a very critical and important topic of ServiceNow at ESM module. And display BR. We haven't discussed business rules, so you can understand it while working on business rules. Okay, what is the order of execution of a UI policy in the client script? Which will execute first, client script or a UI policy? Hello? Guys, which will execute first, UI policy or a client script? Even if it is wrong, it's okay. I don't judge you guys. But in interviews, you may be asked such questions, right? Client scripts execute first, post that UI policies. Okay. So even whenever you are writing the same logic on one field, the client script logic will be executed first, later the UI policy logic, and the remain will be the UI policy logic only, as it gets executed in the last. So what are the ways to make a field mandatory? At least give me this. Hello. How many ways do we have to make a field mandatory in ServiceNow?
Client script and
Yes, good.
UI policy.
form
Yes.
builder.
Sorry?
Form builder.
Form builder. No, it's a dictionary, configure dictionary. From there, you can make a field mandatory, client script, UI policy, and data policy. Okay, usually we say we can make field mandatory by using client scripts, UI policies, data policies, mandatory at dictionary level. Mandatory at dictionary level, what does that mean? When you just give a right click, you can see configure dictionary, right? From there also, you can make a field mandatory, but something which I don't appreciate, as it is not a good practice. What happens if we do mandatory from dictionary override, from configure dictionary? That means whenever someone is extending our table, this field also will be mandatory over there. It will inherit that quality. See, making the field mandatory from here is not a good option. So if I want to see logged in's user email ID, which method can I go with?
Glide user.
Glide user. Okay. I want to see logged in user. For every logged in user, I want to see the email ID. If it is Lakshmi, Lakshmi's mail. If it is Navin, Navin's mail. If it is Mani, Mani's mail. On the form, I want to see. Select to see what is this?
Dot
Dot
working.
walking. Dot walking, yes.
Dot work.
So, which all client scripts will be executed when we change field value from a list? That means when I'm changing the value on the list, what all client scripts are executed? This is a straight question. Only on cell edit, because whenever we talk about list, it is on cell only, guys. There is no on change on submit when you talk about list. Can you specify 5 objects that we can we can apply it using GForm API? Like I want to know at least 5 methods that you can use it for GForm APIs. Is it a client-side working API or the server-side working API?
Client side.
Client side.
Yeah, what are the, at least tell me 5 random methods, I'm okay.
Glide record.
GForm I'm asking.
Set
Okay.
well.
G form, G user.
Get
In G
value.
form, we have a methods, right? Like get value, set value. Those I'm
Okay,
asking.
okay. Your side.
Yeah.
Get set value, get
There is no get set value. There is only get value or set value.
Alert.
collect.
Alert. Okay.
Set
Set
mandatory.
man-
Set
Yes.
is good.
Set read only.
Visible.
Yeah. Add choice, like add options, remove options. These are all we discussed, guys. So such questions will be asked. That's the reason I'm asking you. So we have discussed this on submit client script. So I want to prevent the form from submitting it. Which statement will help me in achieving this? To prevent the form from submission, which client script can be used and what is that method? We can use on submit client script return false. When you set the return false, it doesn't allow the user to save or submit the form. And what all objects can we access on our client scripts? G underscore user, G underscore form, G underscore scratchpad. G underscore scratchpad we haven't covered it. We will be covering it along with the business rules. Okay, so please work on other topics. I feel like some of you are not confident enough to answer few simple queries also. So yeah, I know most of you are working, but still try to look into this. I'll be sharing few interview questions also. Is it okay?
Yes, Shreya.
Yeah.
Fine, sir.
Thank you. So on second, we'll complete our record producers order guides. Suppose that there will be no breaks because we are running really late. We have to see more examples for glider jacks. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.